Most people with pelvic floor issues think that Kegels are the main exercise that they need to do to fix their problems. And while Kegels can be helpful, there's a lot more that needs to be taken into consideration with the pelvic floor if we want to fix these issues long term. The pelvic floor needs to be able to do two main things. It needs to be able to move into a descended position like this, if it's being represented by my hand, and also an ascended position like this. A descended position is more associated with inhalation. When we inhale, our guts drop, our pelvic floor drops, our main diaphragm muscle drops, and our pelvic floor should be synchronized with that. When we exhale, the opposite happens. We should have our diaphragm ascend, the guts and contents of our abdomen ascend, and the pelvic floor also relatively ascend as well. The problem I see with a lot of people that have issues like tight pelvic floors and incontinence is that their pelvic floor is stuck in a descended position. One of the reasons this is happening is that a lot of the muscles on the backside of the pelvic floor are tight and shoving this space closer together like this. This is pulling the pelvis into what we call an externally rotated position. This tightness back here is inherently limiting our ability to open up and decompress the backside of the pelvic floor and move into more of that overall ascended position. Being able to achieve a genuinely ascended position of the pelvic floor is absolutely essential for proper force and pressure management distribution throughout the entire pelvis, lower body, and even upper body. This exercise I'm about to show you and others like it can be a very powerful solution when combined with a good Kegel that can help you solve these issues long term. This is a great starting exercise to teach our pelvic floor how to manage pressures and forces in the presence of an ascended position of the pelvic floor. So to do this, get in a side lying 90-90 position. You want to have a pillow underneath your lowest rib cage so you have a slight amount of side bending towards that downside, so ultimately up here is nice and flat. You want to get a foam roller deep in your groin, basically as far back as it goes. And your hand is supporting your head like you're taking a nap, and you should have zero tension in your neck or low back at any point in this exercise. Now on the wall, feel the foot contacts of your heel, particularly your inner heel, base of the big toe and base of the little toe, evenly between both feet. Now we're gonna get the pelvic floor in an ascended position. So keeping your pelvis neutral, get a nice full exhale through your mouth as you press those foot contacts into the wall. You only want to press to the point where you feel a little bit of pressure going through the wall, but you feel zero tension in your neck or low back whatsoever. To start, for some people, that's a 2, others, it's a 5. Now, the final piece of this is maintain that pressure and squeeze that roller just a 2 or 3 out of 10. So you should maintain, if you had foot pressure of about a 3 out of 10 on the wall, maintain that 3 out of 10, but add that little slight squeeze to the foam roller. And this is really gonna help get that pelvic floor in more of an ascended position as you're producing force into the wall. And now you're just going to sit here, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, making sure your neck and low back are relaxed, and you're really focusing on those foot contacts into the wall.
Dr. Kegel Men. Download app now.